Oh!
Oh!
What happened?
Steve does screws or pieces.
She looks fine, gonna take some time, gonna make her mine, gonna make her mine.
3, 2, 1. What's up? 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, welcome to Steve Does Jobs. Today we'll be meeting. 3, 2. Hey guys, welcome to Steve Does Jobs. Today we'll be meeting with Diana, who is an awesome artist and furniture designer. Today she'll be showing me woodworking techniques that will apply to her newest creative piece and allow me to take part to see if I have what it takes to become a carpenter. Let's go. All right, so Diana, thank you for inviting us to your shop. Why don't you give us a brief introduction on what you do?
So essentially what I do is art furniture, but when I say art, people think, oh, so you make impractical stuff. But not necessarily true. Sometimes I'll get experimental and try to make things that are like very different and that are just visual piece. But 90% of the time, I experiment with new textures that has not been used in furniture. I went to school for fashion photography, hence an art school. At first, I went to a very small school in like middle of nowhere, and then I decided to, okay, all right, I'm gonna take this thing to the next level and move to a big city. And then when I moved to the big city, as I was in the fashion industry, I was forced to go to a lot of networking events and talk to people and show off and like kind of boast about myself all the time. So it became more about networking and being a cool person that other people want to work with more than about my work. And I started hating it, started, caring more about what other people thought than what I believe in. So I didn't do anything creative for 6 months at one time. And that was like a very low point for me. And then all of a sudden, I found out that there's a woodworking workshop in my school. So I took some classes that would let me have access to it. And I just started skipping all my classes on my senior year and was in my woodworking shop from like 12 hours a day and just bothering the staff how to do this, how to do that, how to make this design. And then I just became really obsessed. And I loved that I could be an amateur but make something that is practical and lasting and tangible. It felt really good to make something just for me, something that I didn't care if other people liked it or not. I didn't even think about it. People reacted more to my furniture than my photography. That made me realize, wow, so it actually works better if I don't care about what other people think. I'll just do what I want to do, and out of all these people, there's going to be somebody who likes it, right?
Yeah. What are you working on now? What are we going to be looking at? I guess?
So right now I have an exhibition at COEX in December, and it's going to be art furniture piece. It's very experimental. It involves a lot of bending wood and a lot of techniques that I haven't done before. As I said, I told you about that 6 months when I wasn't creative at all, and I spent 99% of that time in bed. I was paralyzed. One more day I wasn't doing something creative, it put me in a deeper hole, and that was making it harder for me to come out of my bed even harder. I think a lot of people have gone through that, but I was such a happy person until then. It was a new sensation for me. I was like, it was very surprising to me how depressed I could be. So my exhibition piece is going to be about that time, expressing that depression and being trapped in my own head and not being able to get out. But also it's going to show a little bit of like hopefulness in
Yeah.
it. It's not gonna be all depressing.
So like, what are you going to be teaching me, and how can I help contribute
All
to your
right,
exhibition
so
piece?
basically, like I said, it's gonna be involving a lot of bending the wood. So
Yeah.
you'll be helping me with that because it's actually a 2 people job. So
Awesome.
I'm just using Steve today.
Yes. All right. Use me.
Yes. Yeah, so this is 1/10 of the size of what it's gonna be. Obviously, it's like a single size bed, and it's gonna be a life size when it's done. So using this little guy, I put the doll in a position where I normally was in, and then I bent the wood over it, and then put a miniature bed inside, and there's going to be a little beating heart, and then it's gonna be exploding. After this form is done, I will take it to some empty parking lot of some sort, and we'll burn part of it with a torch,
Awesome.
which will be cool because I've never done that before. Cool, all right, and I'll show you the process, how it's done.
Sweet.
Okay, so in computer, I have made little templates of like each shape of every bent line from that little module. So I print them and then paste them on very cheap plywood. And what happens is I would cut this very perfectly along this line using a bandsaw.
A bandsaw?
Yeah, a bandsaw. I think you used it before. When
Yeah,
you
yeah.
were making a ring.
Right. When we made skateboarding rings. So this will be for the actual piece, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then along this line, so this is one piece of the mattress support,
So you're
right?
following this line? And
Yeah,
then you're just-
exactly. This is called spindle sanding machine. You wanna touch
Don't
it?
touch it.
You
Or
can
can I
touch
touch
it.
it? Whoa! It goes up and down.
Yeah. So this is the first layer. So a bed frame, the bed's mattress support is usually like this wide, yeah? So we have to make multiple layers to combine them together. And how we do that is a little different. We don't really use bandsaw for that. All right, it's a pre-cut plywood. And we straighten this up. Can you be on the other side to
Yeah.
straighten this up? Yeah. And do the honor of drawing a perfect line along this. So draw that part for me. All right.
All right, yeah, I'll carry it.
Okay, thank you. What a gentleman. Okay, this time. All right, perfect. All right.
Lining it up.
Okay, so you know how to use drills, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I know how to use a drill.
Okay. Well, here's a job for you. Okay, so when we drill, these are called pieces, screws or piece. In Korean, we call it piece.
Piece?
Yeah.
It's just a screw.
I know, that's what I said. And I was like, do we have a screw? And they're like, what? You mean piece? Anyways, so we drill a hole first. Okay, well, we have to make sure it's perfectly lined up.
Okay. All right, just anywhere?
Mm-hmm. just like that, and we do 3 more. And one here.
Whoa.
Oh!
Oh.
What happened? Okay, here. We can fix this. There you go.
All right, cool. Steve does screws or pieces.
All right, awesome. So,
Okay.
if you can see, we've cut this a little bit bigger than the first perfect one, yeah? Which is because we're going to make it perfect by using a router table.
Okay. Router table. Yeah.
All right, follow me. This is called a router table. So right now, the edges are not perfect, but thankfully, we made the first layer perfect. So if you look at this little part, this tiny part, it spins, yeah? And it doesn't have any sharp blades on it. The reason is, and it's flushed with the same depth of the blade on top. Yeah, this little spindle thingy is set to the height of the first layer, and it follows to the non-blade part, and the blade part will cut.
Oh, okay. So this thingy is cutting.
Just cutting the upper piece. It'll make more sense when you see it. So I'm gonna make a 3rd layer, so it's gonna be the same process, but after we make the 3rd piece and put them together,
Yeah.
we'll do what I'm doing on the other room. So there's different grades to sanding paper. Obviously, we're gonna be using a very rough one.
Okay.
And you see how it's like jagged here?
Yeah.
Make that soft for me.
Okay. The last time I sanded something was me and my dad. We built a race car together.
Oh, nice.
Like those little wooden race cars, I think.
That's awesome. Did he make it?
No, it was a father-son kind of
Oh,
thing.
wow. That's pretty good. Just go over this like little, this thing disappears.
Can I go like that?
Yeah. But it might be harder because it wobbles like this. So, it's more like you see this like pointy edge. Yeah, make that disappear and make this pointy edge disappear. Yeah, that's very good. We could have done it with a machine, but I just wanted to make it work. All right, so this is white oak, and I have cut them very thin. Wow. It's like 1.2 millimeter or something like that. So it's quite dangerous work, actually, and it took a long time.
Why is it dangerous?
Because it's very thin.
So this was like one whole stick of wood?
Right.
And then she cut them into like...
A fan.
Whoa! Oh, thank you.
So the reason why it's cut so thin is why?
Because we need to bend it.
Yeah, exactly. Pick your favorite. Pick 4.
Okay, it's like Pokemon
Pick
cards.
a good one.
It's Mewtwo. It's Pikachu. And Squirtle.
Can you move this with me? Yeah. It's over there. All right, so essentially that's what we're gonna be doing, right? So we have made a perfect template, and we're gonna bend them to the shape that we did.
Okay.
And then we're gonna put lots of clamps together. For my exhibition piece, I have to do this 25 times.
So this is only one.
Yeah, exactly. So this part is like probably gonna be like this part.
Oh, wow.
This one thing. Woodworking actually, like when you think of an idea, it takes a while to actually move it into an action. It took me about a month just to make a blueprint for this, you know. So what we do first is we mixed woodworking wood and...
Woodworking wood? Glue?
Yes! Woodworking wood. Is that what I said?
Is this how you get inspired?
Oh my god.
Just sniff glue all day? Oh,
I don't... So glue and water, 1-to-1 ratio. The reason why we mix it with water is that the glue is very thick. So we want to water it down so that it seeps into the woods better. We're going to be bending them, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we'll put this like that. And then we'll put this one over here, here, here. And we'll use a brush to soak them.
Okay.
You just have to make sure that it's all wet. Like there's no such thing as too much when it comes to wood gluing, because you don't want to have too little and have an unstable structure.
My
right.
turn?
Yeah, and I'll bring a second brush to help you.
All right, applying the water glue.
Me.
I'm your butler today.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love it. I would love to have just a lifetime errand boy. Is that what they're called? That's called what? Secretary? No, what's
Yeah.
another word?
Like
Assistant.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, let's tape this first. The reason why is because we don't want the watered down wood to spill out and be stuck to this piece. So when we take it out later. So first thing, we start from the middle. Yeah, we'll hold it together. Next, then we slowly bend. Keep it in the middle. Yeah, you see that wood squeezing out?
Yeah, that's good.
That's a good sign. That means you did a good job.
Nice.
All right. So this is why I had to cut this part a little more, so that when we clamp it, it's not like, if it's like shaped like this, it's very hard to clamp this part down. You know what I mean? No? Okay, so because we don't want to hurt the wood with the middle part of the clamp, we want to put a little tiny wood block. All right, now clamp it. Might be... Goes all the way in. Yeah, perfect. It's actually very good. Yeah, all right, 2 down. Like 15 more to go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when people order custom pieces, they think that it's like somehow because it's not made from big company or brands, they think it's cheaper. So they like, people ask me like the most ridiculous, can you make a desk for $50 or like
$50?
or 500 is even too little. But people are like, what? That's too expensive. How come it's more expensive than IKEA? I was like, because it's mass produced. Yeah, and look how much work it goes into just like one person. So please, if you're watching this, if you ever order a custom order, please don't insult woodworker by bargaining.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, so glad you're here today. I wouldn't have been able to do this.
I worked out before I came. Got like 10 push-ups in.
Good. You think you can manage it by yourself?
Yeah, I can do it.
Yeah.
Steve
Let me
does...
do the other side.
What are these things called?
Clamps.
Steve does clamps.
Oh no. So there's 2 ways to bend wood. One is to make them, like make it into thin layers and glue them together on a template like this. Or another way is actually, if you see my colleague's chair here, this is also bent wood.
Wow.
But this was done through steam bending, which means that we put a block of wood in there for hours in hot steam for like, I don't know, I think this one took about 4 hours to steam it, and then you bend them. But it's very useful for bending a solid structure like this, but what's not good when you bend it on a template, it opens a little bit. But when you do it with glue, because glue substance hardens it, it stays the way you meant it. Oh, wait, we have to clamp the very end. Here, let's use this. Forgot that part. All right, just wet it a little bit. Oh! Oh, that's what that clamp was for.
Ah. Cool.
All right, yeah, so we just wait. All right, so what we did there, over there, this is one I did before you guys came here so that I can show you the finished piece. I won't make you guys wait 2 hours.
Cool.
Anyway, so this is dried. It's been 2 hours and a half, maybe. And we're unclamping it now. All right, so when it's done, it looks like that, right? So basically, where's the mock-up? Is it over there? It's gonna be like this, right? So this part
so
is
that's
probably like here. Oh my God, my ankle's really that high? Yeah, so it's gonna be this part. And then what we did over there is, I think this part, and then I'll just like make more, and then it'll look like this.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
I think
Oh no, it's fine. It's just a mock-up. So.
As you can tell, Diana in Chicago was sleeping on a twin-size mattress. I sleep on a queen.
Wow. Rub it in my face.
Diana, thank you so much for inviting us to your woodworking shop. I had so much fun, and I learned a lot about just like wood in general, bending techniques, and yeah. So if you are in Seoul, Korea, around what, December time, why don't you give us...
Yeah, December 15th to 19th, there's going to be lots of other loads of cool furniture pieces and arts at the exhibition, so not just mine.
Right on.
Yeah.
And if you want to follow Diana's cool furniture, unique stuff, the link to her Instagram will be in the description. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
I don't know why I did that.